right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're having a wonderful evening. I'm about to start off this video like it's Veggie Tales because, boy, we have a show for you. Oh, my goodness. What a wild way to start off the week. I'm telling you, it was pretty crazy. Start off the week. That's me. And why it was so crazy, because you had nothing over the weekend. I don't know if you saw the vlog. I was just chilling. There wasn't anything crazy. No wild developments. We woke up bright and early. You heard very early from the White House, Besant, but it wasn't anything meaningful. And like top to bottom, you pretty much swung about 2%, only to end green and like barely unchanged on the NASDAQ. So it is very wild. Do not be deceived. This is a very important week. We're wrapping up the 100 days, and you have a plethora of events. So we have a lot in store. I have the keys, the plays, a couple of pretty pictures, and we got to talk about it, man. The bear market rally, okay? And the number, I'm not going to put this on the quiz because it's so easy. You know that? The number is 44, my friends. We're going to talk about it. I have a picture for you, so you will see. You will enjoy it. If you're on the recap, you can't make it, and I love you. I still love you, but you're going to have to bear with me right now, okay? Save 10%, get a long term. But what's going on, Chattadonia? Good evening. Hello, Mr. Edwards. Hello, Tim Whitman. Hello, Cisco. You say, good evening, Juraj. Oh, I bid thee El Trapato and Mayhem and Devin and Scriggs and Joey, and oh, there is Connor Roebuck. My man, he does it. My indeed on the quiz. I don't even know what voice this is. This is a lot going on. Carson Bolt! Oh, I'm still pretty high. What up, Faisal? What up, Mr. Mosby? Oh, no one. Pure Pat, Tyree, Justin B, Dirty Bird, Nepal, Chelsea, Banza, Bledsoe, JG, Jermaine, Alyssa, Onion, Mo, Mr. El Arian, Habibi, how are you? What up, Mr. Donora? What up, Ayon? How you doing? Sustain, Dago, so you matter. You do matter. You know that? Amen, bro. That's a philo. You don't love that self. Don't get me started on the pride and all that, but we'll save that for another time. So, Chattadonia, I hope you're ready. I don't know. I think I'm going to blend it in for you today, okay? So I hope you're having a good evening, but I'm going to blend in the pretty pictures because we got a couple of different things. Oh, the Twitch! I forgot about the Twitch! Payday Devil, Ravenza, Louise, Mother Liquor. See, that's the Twitch, you know. Damn. What up? Oh, there's Wavy. I forgot about you guys. What up, Wavy? What up, Payday? How you doing, Blue 42? Oh, real fried rice. Hey, man, I like fried rice. It's good. It's good. But you gotta eat healthy. So, that being said, ladies and gentlemen, right off the bat, there was nothing in terms of new developments today. Like I said, we woke up. The White House was very early. I think they're really excited this week because of the first 100 days, and we're going to talk about that. Has not been so good, but we heard from them very early. There was very vague details out of Scott Besant talking about trade deals in Asia, Japan. He did say that the first deal will probably be India, but remember, we just had that last week. We haven't heard anything from India. We haven't heard anything out of Japan, South Korea. Again, like I was telling you guys yesterday, or even on last week, there's a virtual trade embargo, so things are moving very slow with all things considered. We don't know much, and even over the weekend, though, and leading into today, there was not any crazy details. There was little pieces of data. I think it was the Dallas Fed manufacturing. That was terrible. I think we had a couple of sets of random bad data, but other than that, like I said in the beginning here, do not be fooled. It's a gigantic week. You have the non-farms on Friday. You get the other data, the ADP private payrolls, jobless claims, the JOLTS jobs openings. Then you get the PCE. That's related to inflation. And then potentially all of these trade deals, and you might even get a war, bro. Literally, that Pakistan-India stuff, that's another area of the world that has a developing conflict as well. So there is a lot of stuff going on this week. You are really, I think you're 15% off the lows. I believe you are at the halfway point right now between the peak of February and the low that we just hit a couple of weeks ago. So I think that's very fascinating, but head on a swivel. We are not out of the woods just yet. And now coming into key number 2, like we talked about yesterday, it's the 100 days. And remember, I showed you guys, I can pull up the other chart, but here's a zoomed in one. But long story short, man, the 100 days of Trump. Are you ready for this? This has been the worst 100 days since Nixon. I can't make this up. Literally, to start off, you usually go up. By now, you're up like 21% on average, believe it or not. But this is the worst 100 days since Nixon. So inflation, imagine all the 1970s I've told you about. And honestly, it kind of relates. I'll show you another chart because I was making a joke, and this is something over the weekend, Bank of America. But let me find it for you. Yeah, to give you an idea of what we've kind of been through, this chart shows you the year-to-date household equity wealth. And literally, we are down $6 trillion year-to-date. It is a massive slump. However, 2021 to 2022 was way larger, and you were a lot lower, believe it or not. So that's why it's interesting, because this time around, people are way more vocal. Remember, everybody thought we had a recession last time stocks did this. Last time Powell did this, all post-COVID. That was the real inflation. So ironically, you have the worst 100 days since Nixon, but the real big drop kind of did happen 4 years ago, and it's happening again right now. But either way, point is, I will tell you right now, I would take all of this still with a grain of salt. We were up 10, 15% to start off the year, and then it flipped very, very hard. And now you're at one of the worst starts to a presidency in history. And you guys did good. I don't know. You pat yourself on the back. It doesn't really matter. That's why I'm saying take it with a grain of salt, because dude, our long terms really outperformed, and you just withstood a very historical moment. Now, nonetheless, I don't think what we're going through right now is really indicative of where we are ending up, if that makes any sense. I mean, long story short, turbulence at the beginning of the flight, I don't think it usually lasts all the way throughout. But we'll see. Maybe the plane either crashes or we go smooth sailing. So, yeah, those two options are still on the table, but the answer is going to materialize with time. And now this is going to be a very hard part, because like we were talking about, speed and the back and forth and what we saw in 2022, even the Trump chop of 2018, this part is actually very difficult. And what we're going through now, and it kind of relates to a couple of other factors we could talk about, but let's talk about bear market rallies, because again, you were just on the cliff. Everybody was absolutely terrified, and now stocks are going up even if everything was bad. And now, all of a sudden, you saw how quickly you went from looking over the edge to people like, all right, did I miss the bottom? Well, welcome to a bear market rally. That's why it's so confusing, because you don't know if it's just going to come back to normal, if everything will be okay. You don't know when you're going to miss the bottom. But then sometimes when we go through these wild events, you have a period of rallies that kind of make no sense beyond a tantrum. And pretty much if the tantrum is long sustained, it turns into a bear market rally. But point is, this is actually very typical. So I thought we were going to get a temporary bounce for a couple of reasons, but as people start to discuss it, you see how we're moving, how crazy it actually is. This chart may help you, and what this is showing you, all of the bear market rallies in every meaningful bear market. So from recession and stagflation to the 80s, you had various periods where the market for 39 days would rally 10%. In 1982, for 51 days, it would rally 9%. And again, it would continue to collapse and get clapped. And it did this. So that's kind of the idea here. But you could go through even the dot-com bubble. This one might get you a little worried, because if you're like, oh, this is like 2001. Well, in 01, May 22 to July, 55 days, you're going up 8%. Then you crash. And then for another period in March, 6-7 months later, you're going up for 60 days, 14%. Then it comes back down. And then 100 days, 20%, then it comes back down. 41 days, then it comes up, and then it comes back down. So keep that in mind. And even in 2022, it was 60 days. So do you see what I'm showing you? This is your number 44. So you could see there was some bear market. Look at this. So program trading collapse of 1987. Does anybody know what that is? Pop quiz. So this was a bear market rally that lasted one day. 7.9%. I thought that was funny. What was 1987, October 20th? Yes. Black Monday. Yes, indeed. That was the program trading collapse. So that was an interesting one. Maybe that skews the average, but the median is pretty close. But you could kind of see here, and pretty much the average bear market rally last 44 days, and then it goes up by 14.1. So, very interesting, because this is what I mean now beyond the speed, but this is how we're going to have things materialize. But, dude, what happens now? It's been like 5 to 10 days. So you go up for like a month and a half, and then you just get clapped again, and then you have to deal with everything. So keep that in mind, because even if we go up, whatever happens here in the next, let me put it this way, in the next 44 days, if we don't get any meaningful development in trade deals, or anything going on, then we might be still we might revisit some of the peak uncertainty, or maybe this bear market rest of the year kind of stays a little stagnant. We will find out and be prepared to take it in. And yeah, it's going to still be wild. So that's why it's been crazy. I mean, your long-term likes it for now, but here's the deal. I'll give you another fun fact. So you guys remember this chart, right? You guys remember this? I showed you it at the beginning of the year, and I was telling you how retail was leading the market and how the big funds were under position. So I don't know if they actually were right, or maybe they propagandized the world into it. I'll leave that up to you. I don't care. I had value. We still did good. But the whole point is, look, funding is still low. This funding spread, if you remember that video. So institutional demand is still low, and retail has been going crazy, right? I said that on stream today. Do you guys remember me talking about that? And I've kind of brought it up, and people have been discussing this idea, and they're saying that retail is buying hand over fist. Have you heard this recently? And again, they're saying low liquidity, some funds are down, but like retail has been buying. Does this sound familiar to you? Let me see. I need to see it, because I said this today. So this is kind of what spurred it, because I heard this again today. And I was just getting bored. So I was like, let me do the math on it. Okay? Because and here's the chart. So what this chart is showing you, the retail flow percentage as an aggregate of market cap. So this is showing you how much pretty much retail's weighting in terms of buying. It's still tiny as hell. I hope you see that. It's 0.15%. But it's been rocketing since the beginning of the year. And this is important for your long term, believe it or not. That's why even with the whole 44 days thing, I'm kind of glad I told you it set me back by a month, but at least we bought at one little bottom, and if we get a bear market rally, it might actually work out pretty good. But I did the math on this. So I was like, this is kind of interesting, and I just did it on Tesla. So I was looking at it, and I was like, well, if you took I did the calculator, you could go do this, and someone correct me, because I'm not good with calculators sometimes, but I did 0.15, and right now Tesla's market cap is $900 billion. And if you did 0.00015, pretty much, or 0.0015, it leaves you with about 1.3 or 1.39 billion. Right? That would be currently, which kind of makes sense. So it's saying out of all of it, retail might be a percentage of 1.3. I could kind of vibe. Let's just hear me out. But here's the deal. If you go and see the market cap of like Tesla at the beginning of the year, the percentage was like it's barely 0.01. Even at 0.01, Tesla's market cap was at 1.2 trillion or 1.4 trillion, I believe. So think about it. What do you think that number comes out to? 0.001. 0.00001 of 1.4 trillion. Do you see what I'm getting at? I haven't given you the punchline, but you might have figured it out by now. Because it's roughly the same amount. It's like 100 billion or less difference. It's roughly the same. Yeah. I thought that was fascinating. So I said this today. I was like, that's an interesting narrative. But here's the deal. I mean, I'm not going to assume, eventually someone's going to hold the bag, but I hold long term. And here's the deal. To a certain degree, I believe this means you just get more bang for your buck right now. That's what it means. because the same $1 billion is getting you way more percentage of market cap. So now as it goes lower and lower, if you're, again, think about it, the same $1 billion now is getting more capital, more equity, excuse me. So I thought it was fascinating, but you're going to hear this a little bit, and the fact of the matter is still bear market rally or not, I think it's going to be an interesting month or month and a half as we even get through the events and then the whole rest of this week. So leading into the final key now, very simply, taxes and trade deals. These are going to be your bullish catalyst. Until then, watch for waves of negativity. It's essentially, think about it, bear market rallies. As everybody gets used to the craziness, you hear a little bit of good news, we rally, then there'll be a development. Then you'll get a wave of, depending on trade deal, this didn't go through. More escalation. Again, I'm worried about more escalation from China. Like I said on the video yesterday, this whole trade embargo thing, it could take time. And the longer China isn't moving stuff, one at a time, more doors of reactions and outcomes are going to start opening up. So we'll see, but point is, we have some bullish catalysts that are going to come up, and that you're asking about the taxes. That's what I was going to show you. I mean, they're already putting around estimates, and you're going to hear about this. I was saying it, but I don't know if this will be enough, because I think Trump and other people are hoping this tax bill and other stuff is going to be bullish, but the market, if it still has this high uncertainty, or if we run into an issue with China very shortly, that might get in the way. But this is pretty much showing the projected bill, and even everything from the raising SALT, eliminating tax on tips, extending the TCJA, increasing defending, even spending cuts with Doge. It's pretty interesting. It's one beautiful bill. This is from Deutsche Bank. But my only problem is, I don't know, why do we still run $1.9 trillion deficits? We got so used to spending money, Republican or Democrat. Sorry, I'm not into that. But yeah, other than that, Chad, watch out for that though. And I'm showing you this now because you will be hearing about this eventually. I'm making an early judgment. I could be wrong. Maybe it really does hit bullish because some people talked about it, but let's see how it plays into the overhang. But really, taxes, trade deals, otherwise, good or bad for non-farms, PCE, hot inflation or not, and then the mega cap earnings. That is what is going to guide us. So now, let us get into the plays. So, right off the bat, I got a good one for you. Because this happened in the morning, and I don't know. I was asking about the chips, and this was the news, but it's good to be aware of it. I think this one's going to be fascinating because, again, I just told you, I'm worried about the China situation and whether or not we get an escalation there. And here's the deal. NVIDIA, bro. The chips were all murdered today, but the news was Huawei. You remember Huawei? Remember they jailed the CFO, they banned them. China banned iPhones, all that. Yeah. Huawei now is developing an AI chip. I think they already had some, and we've heard this before. But, yeah, you were talking about it last week. That's why I'm even putting in here, maybe you'll react to this 3 weeks from now. Because that's what happened with DeepSeek and all of it. And now there's a lot going on. But if this starts to develop or there's a report or they ban, if China wants to escalate, ban NVIDIA, get Huawei, and then they're like, oh, we have the best chip now, we could do it, then yeah, we'll see what happens. But either way, I thought this was a good piece of info to be aware of, kind of like the DeepSeek stuff. Ever since DeepSeek, though, it's kind of been on and off. But again, NVIDIA's held up pretty well, but we'll see what happens. But I really tie this to a broader, one step to China escalation or not. So keep your eyes out for that. That all happened today. That's play number one. And then play number two, Sony. I made like a $10. I think I got like $20 on it. Only got one or a couple of them. Yeah, one of them today, I got a bad fill. It only filled me on one. But Sony. And they had news that they wanted to spin off their chip business. I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't know Sony had a chip business. So they announced that today. They had some cheap plays. It's not really a big mover, but it is an ADR, and it's a Japanese stock. Their earnings are in yen. Yen has been acting like a safe haven. Worst case for one of these cheap plays. Maybe we just benefit off of that if anything happens. Other than that, though, look out for that news. See if that develops or not. But that is play number two. And then finally, I made a play on this one both ways for earnings, and go watch the tutorial. It's on the trading fraternity. It's called Ghetto Standard Deviation. It's in the description, I think, of all those videos. I think even on the watch list, or on the live. But watch that video. I did that exact strategy for this, but they're important. They're down 30% on the year. It doesn't really go crazy. I mean, it's kind of been wild, but usually FedEx kind of takes away from the move. But this time, UPS was pinned, so I took a play on it both ways. Again, 2 standard deviations was cheap, dude. Today it was like $20, $40 for both ways. So I played 2 standard deviations, or 2 of them, or like a little bit outside for $40 a pop on UPS. I think that's a steal. So we'll see if it gets clapped tomorrow, but for a stock down 30, a name tied to trade and everything, let's see. The only way we really lose is if it's like hella just, and that's it. If they really neutral the shit out of it, but we'll see. I kept it small either way, though. Earnings haven't really, again, I thought this earnings season would be a little different, but I don't know. The Trump and all of the uncertainty have kind of added to it in a wild way. So we'll see. But other than that, I've talked about UPS for a while. I got a deposit coming in a week. And, like, dude, I want to hold cash. But, like, if UPS drops, like, 10, 15% tomorrow, I think I'm going to buy it. So, or I'll wait, like, a day or two after the earnings. But I'm going to get tempted again. You know that? But, yeah, so that's something to keep in mind. Other than that, though, the long term is amazing. We could look over that in a sec, but that's what I'm going to be watching tomorrow. I'm going to watch some of the mega caps. We'll go over earnings tomorrow. We could cover them and go over some of the previews during the day, and maybe we'll make some plays. So watch that tutorial. Otherwise, I'm going to look at you confused. But other than that, it should be chill. We'll see. I do think speed and velocity and whether or not we hold this rally is one thing, and then if it does hold, how long does it hold? Is it a bear market rally? What do we get with the deals, the data, everything in between? And we see where it takes us. But other than that, Chatadonia, that is it. That is your watch list. So if you have any questions, now would be your time. Any trades for the ports? No. I just think it would really be a situation that would get catastrophic. So it would just be like hard landing play. That's it. I think if we get to the point where, like, I don't know the duration, you see what I'm saying? But if we get to the point where the China shit is like a literal embargo and it lasts for like months or who knows how long, and then it like really shuts down the actual trade like it was damn COVID, I think we're going to have a little bit of a problem. I think that would bring about your recession and hard landing. But it would have to last for a while or induce a big amount of damage right away. So, but then again, like in the same respect, if that deal is done, that I don't think people are ready even for the bullish side though. And that's why we do have to stay diversified. And I'm telling you, like, yes, there's a lot of uncertainty, but I wouldn't get too scared. You know what I'm saying? Don't buy the hype to the downside. And vice versa. Don't be a dumbass. And don't, there's fucking, like, literally, we have a trade embargo with China right now, pretty much, practically, in theory. I wouldn't be sanguine about it. And I wouldn't be sanguine about, again, I would have a plan with your assets, finances, but diversify and really you prepare for both ways in a way that doesn't hurt you if you're wrong. That's why I think panic buying cars is so dumb and stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to get certain things, but that's what it comes down to. But then at the same time, like, if you go and prepare for all this shit and they sign a trade deal, no, but like, actually, I've seen this happen before. But last time there wasn't this mass propaganda fear and all that shit. But you know what I'm saying? For real, actually. And there wasn't this worry of inflation. Maybe we're vulnerable because of what happened, but, it wasn't. Last time, bro, everybody right away, out of nowhere, you got a trade deal with China. And then it was all over. It was like there, but it wasn't, and then that was it. So I do think, that's what I'm saying. There is things to be worried about, but don't buy the hype. Like, anybody telling you this is a deep, dark pit that we can't get out of, I don't, that's cap. I would not listen to those people in life in general, beyond just finances. But, I do think you got to be aware of the danger. You got to be prudent. And like I'm saying, that ship situation, I'm talking about it for a reason, because I'm like, dude, it's literally an embargo. It blows my mind. I'm telling you, it actually blows my mind. So, and you can't treat that lightly, but that could be done with the stroke of a pen. And although people will tell you, you can't be, no, it can. And I've seen it happen. And a lot of people have. And the market will get will love it. So that's why it's like, don't buy shit you'll regret if this is all just over. But we are playing with fire. It's a bomb like we've been talking about since day one. But like I'm saying, after this 150% thing, and I was just noticing it, bro. I tell you that video yesterday and we hear about it. This was kind of the talk of the town today and people showing ships and all that. But it's like, dude, it's pretty interesting and it could get serious. So we'll be ready for both sides. No VOD on Twitch. No, I don't know how to do it. Or no, I don't know how to do like DVR, but we don't have VOD on Twitch, unfortunately. But you know what I do have? A long term. And this is hella suspicious, bro. We're killing it, dude. I'm like, I like it, but I don't. But I'm like, what the fuck? Dude, this Scar don't even look that bad. The small account's even better. Even Colt Sister, bro. So, it's very interesting. But that's why I'm like, I still don't believe it. But if we get 44 days, who knows? Otherwise, we'll see how it plays out. But like I said, UPS, if that comes down, I'll probably be snagging that. Other than that, though, I think after, like, in a week from now, we'll be back up to, like, 3% in cash. So, not bad, dude. Our dividends still grew. I've grown my dividends about 10% this year. So, that wasn't bad, but not as much as last time. Not as much as last year. We're halfway through. But I like what we got, man, and I like NVO. I like our value, and I'm excited. So, but like I said, I think we'll have opportunity. And, head on a swivel. Don't buy the hype either way. Be prepared. Again, diversification. Don't be too certain. Oh, and it'll be a good time, baby. It'll be a good time. So what else we got? You have a couple of questions? Interested in shorting crypto? Oh, no, thank you. I appreciate you, but no, thank you. I'm good. If earnings are bad, why not wait till they slash their dividend? Because if they don't slash it now, you know what I'm saying? I'm good, man. I had a good workout. Dude, I have a funny story. Oh, dude, I got hurt. Oh, bro, I fully got injured in the gym today. It's a flesh wound. It's not that bad. Thank God. You know that, bro? Like, it's not a fucking, it wasn't a ligament. So, it's not a shoulder. It's not a rotator cuff. It's not a muscle. Dude, I'm like, like the 45 plate and how it's on that, like, little, like, that little rack with the little circles, and where you rack the weights. So, like, I'm picking this weight up, and it was, like, hanging off the side, the 45, and I, like, grab it, and, like, it slips, and I wasn't, like, preparing to hold it, because I thought it was on the thing still, and it just, like, jams in between my finger and slices my finger, and then I started bleeding everywhere, and then I went to the bathroom, and then I wrapped it in toilet paper, and then I proceeded to lift. And then I told you guys, I was telling you guys today. I said it today, bro. I think it was kind of funny. I was telling you at one point how, like, one point in my life, like, girls would, like, look at me and they would, like, visibly get repulsed, and they would, like, vomit a little bit in their mouths. And, like, it was just a look of disgust. Bro, I told my girlfriend today, I swear to you, bro, this girl follows me around the gym today. And and then she just, like, no reason at all, just walks in front of me and, like, fully, like, eyes me. And then I think she was disappointed. I feel bad. I let her down. She stopped following me after that. So, but yeah, it was an interesting day at the gym today. I was like, that's not nice. And then I got hurt. And then, yeah. Plot twist, it was a Chad dude. It was because you're swole. I know, but I look like a fucking lizard. So I told my girlfriend. I told her the story. She giggled. She thought it was funny. I was like, well, thanks. Got my new bicycle tubes. Oh, I remember when I was a kid, I discovered there was a tube in the bicycle. That's what I realized, bro. I was like, oh my gosh. I didn't know that. I got a flat tire on a bike, and someone said the tube. And I said, what do you mean the tube? Like, you know that? It took me a while to learn that. You didn't know that? Okay, you guys are laughing at me like you all knew that. Okay. Is the weight okay? What do you mean, like my finger? Yeah, it's fine. You're trying to make beats. I'll do it. I got a beat for Uncle. You want to hear it? I can show you the beat. I can't show you the song. I was just there with him, bro. I was just with him, actually. You want to hear it? Yeah. I like it. It's good.
Viper.
Oh, yeah, bro. You feel it? Oh. It's crazy. Yeah. So that's it. Oh, you could email the tradingfraternity@gmail.com. I'll send it to him. Oh, I saw your taco, bro. That sounded weird. But your Tacoma. See, I'm going to just say Tacoma now. It looked very nice. Beautiful vehicle. So cool. And I know that. If you guys didn't know, a taco is a Tacoma. I learned that today. I legitimately learned it. You saw it real time. Dude, it's so cool. I didn't know that. Taco is slang for Tacoma. Did you know that? I didn't know that, and they were surprised. I know. I know a lot. I know a lot of random fun facts about cars, but that's it, man. It was great. Packs are us. How much for a feature? For you, Habibi, free. If it's you, if you're my Canadian friend, I miss you. I was thinking about you the other day. If you're my Canadian friend who is obsessed with packs, then yeah. But for you, Habibi, anytime. Anytime, bro. You love your taco. It's so cool, bro. I didn't know that. The Frontier, that was yours, Awaz? Oh, that was beautiful, bro. Yeah. Dude, I remember that one over the weekend. Cool cars, bro. See, that's what I'm saying, bro. Y'all better. And, like, y'all be going on those mountain drives, though. You have to. You know what I'm saying? You have a taco like decked out or one of these decked out trucks. You guys are like going to at least like you're getting your mountain drives in, right? Because like, dude, I don't know. I think I have like deleted scenes I should show you from the vlog. Because, bro, I love driving on the mountain. I love it. I love it, bro. I love it. Just nature, bro. I don't like, that's the fucked up part, bro. Because, like, yeah, I like being active and I like activities, right? And I like hiking. But, dude, fuck all that, bro. I like driving in nature. You know, like, I'll walk and shit and I'll hike, you know, but, like, dude, I just like cars and views and driving and something about it, bro. Big fan. And I just love it, dude. It's a vibe. It's a big, major vibe. I'm a happy man. Like I said, man, I'm a happy man. And son. I'm not going to lie. I kind of like driving in the rain, but not really. Carmel is a beautiful drive up there. I've heard. And then going up to, what's it? Is it Del Sur? What's the place with that little, or Big Sur? The mountain driving car truck? Dude, anything. I'm not going to lie to you. Anything, bro. I remember I whipped a Prius in the mountains, and I was like, this drive like an S-Class. I was asked lending tips. I even think I told the Chad this at one point. But, yeah, I like I don't know. Just put me in anything, bro. As long as it's not like a 50 horsepower, like, can't go 30 up the mountain. But, like, if it's a car, can I go, like, 50 miles? You know what I'm saying? Like, if it could, like, without, like, too struggling, like, even a Civic, I could push a Civic up and down that bitch and enjoy great enjoyment. And Denver. Ooh. I've heard about that, actually. And then I think, yeah, you need a 4Runner or an Audi or a Subaru if you go to Colorado. The federal borrowing being so far off? No. Because the debt ceiling, but what you should be concerned about is how that leads into another standoff. So if we don't get a signed bill and all of that other stuff, we might run into another debt ceiling thing. So that's why it dropped and that's why they raised it, but it actually could have been a lot worse. But other than that, I don't think it's an issue now, but if it does lead into a government shutdown and we need to sell more bonds, then there you go. And maybe that's why the bonds were clapped. I don't know. I don't know. But good question. And like I said, that other stuff, we should start hearing about this stuff in the tax bill and all of that. But even then, I showed you guys the chart. Like, I don't know if I should. I'll just tell you this quite simply. I don't like this chart. This is the proposed Trump bill. But it's not that I don't like. It's just why are we so used to spending this much now? Even with Elon, even with Doge. This is terrible that this is going to be the new normal. But are you ready? Are you ready? I don't think you can handle this. I don't think you're ready for this long term. I don't think you're ready for this. Cause my portfolio's too long term. This is for you, baby. She's in the Illuminati. Do you not get this? Y'all don't feel me. I'm about to drop a bomb on you. You know that? This one, oh, you don't know, bro. At the end of the day, good thing it's only 36 minutes in. We ran through this today. So you can't even complain this took too long. Because, you still got time. What am I thinking right now? Come on. When you look at that, 1.8, so again, if this bill passes, 1.8 trillion in 2025 deficit, 1.7 trillion in 26, 1.74 in 2027, and 1.9 again in 2028. No. So this is why I'm telling you, even to a certain degree, don't buy so much of the hype, even to the downside. And I don't think people are really realizing this, but what do I call government spending, dude? I call it demand. It's government demand. So, if we're still running fucking almost $2 trillion deficits, what the fuck is everybody scared of? Just, I don't know. Does that make sense? Because I saw this and I was like, this is the plan. This is if Trump got everything he wanted. But then I'm like, there's no way this is our new normal. And if that's the case, why that's a lot of money. That's still a very large deficit that is reminiscent of some of the just nonsense we've kind of saw. In the sense of just like the times where you're like, again, the market will go down a little bit, but then you're just like, everyone has cash. And it's like, that's a lot of government spending still. Yeah, again, it could be spent in different ways. Again, it's just still a deficit, but it's still in the trillions, and it's that large of an amount. Again, I don't think we've ran persistently high deficits like that. Let's see. Year by year. I want to see the last budgets, so I thought that was interesting. But yeah, you got to, I want to see how that plays out, but if, to a certain degree, this might be your bullish safety net. And this is why I always hold the long term, especially in that, but that's like insane. Am I saying it's a good thing or a bad thing? I'm saying it's kind of a good thing. I'm saying that even if the economy goes down, like even to the consumers, I still think you're going to have a tremendous source of demand coming from the government. And I don't think that's dissipating. And that's a lot, and that's what I even told you with Biden and shit that caused things that you can't, like, you remember when, again, we thought there was a recession at 2022, 2023, and it went down, but and even though there was data collapses, how come it was a recession, but not? And some people have brought this up. They're saying because no matter, like, there were still, again, no jobs, no crazy job losses in certain tech. Yeah, but you had a lot of government spending still. Now, this isn't as large as maybe Biden, but like I'm saying, the $1 trillion, like, we haven't always ran deficits like this. But long story short, you just have a fuck ton of money. Like, yeah. So this is like, it's still kind of like a crisis time deficit. So you see what I'm saying? Like 1.8 was 2024, but this is like a 2020 thing. Are you feeling me? So in 2019, it was at peak. Trump was at 0.98 trillion, right? So all of these projections, the minimum is double that. Yeah, and that's before any rate cuts. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. So, like, whatever you say about even, like, Trump in a weird way, that's a lot of fucking money from the government. It's a lot of government demand, bro. Are you guys seeing what I'm showing you in numbers? Again, 2017, it was $500 billion. 2015, below $500 billion. Again, this is like a crisis. 2009, $14 trillion. So again, these were the crazy ones. And again, Biden still was running high ones. And this is still all Biden too. Again, that's why 2021 was crazy. That's why I told you he's doing $1 trillion less than Biden, but it's still going to be fucking massive. And that's what I'm saying. When I looked at that, I'm like, all right, well, if that does pass, like, yeah, bro, that's a lot of government demand. I mean, again, I think that's very objective. But I thought that was a fun fact, or very interesting. So if I would like lower deficits, I don't know if we're going to get that. And if we don't get that, I mean, I think you might even have pain, but you do have a gigantic government safety net. It's kind of a letdown, but it's, again, that's why I kind of think I see where he's saying golden age, if you really think about it, because it doesn't fucking matter what happens if you're pumping $1.7 trillion of a deficit for 4 years in a row. Ask Joe. Literally. So, well, I think it really comes down to like just many lapses or lack of confidence and other things or other black swans, but yeah. So we'll see. But I think I'll leave you guys on that one, man. I think I will leave you on that. We'll talk about it tomorrow. I'm sure people will like this one, okay? But I love you, Chattadonia. God bless you. God bless America. I will see you guys in the morning and long term. And listen, actually, enough of this nonsense, okay? You don't sell your long term unless you're buying a house, okay? Just don't ever forget that. I know, 44 days, strap in, because I know you want to do something, and it feels like you're doing something, but you're not. Long term, stick to the plan. Finger to the sky. Good evening, Chattadonia, and have a wonderful night because you're blessed. Your pillow proves that. You have a pillow, damn it. All right? And you're no better than anybody. Don't be a Pharisee, okay? That's it. But work hard and please the Lord and please yourself and be free, okay? That's it. It's all freedom. 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 Finger to the sky, baby. Have a wonderful evening and peace out. Harda!